Peace. Shalom Israel. I came across this video I think it was 2 days ago. It was randomly on my news feed, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and check it out because by the title, pretty much gets it intrigued me, by this title, and it's so coincidentally they have to use black folks in a title like this, and so what motivated me is okay, I'm gonna watch it, see where it goes, and it did exactly. Well, these two did exactly what I knew was gonna happen. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and watch the video again, but I'm gonna give you an honest, you know, breakdown of what things that you're saying and the things that's been going on with our people and the things that is destroying our the black, the Israelite family. Now, before I get started, I'm gonna give you a little news announcement. If you haven't or not aware of what's going on about the Black Avenger site, there's a new site up. It is called fsavenger.com. I will link the website link in the description box, and you can go ahead and access it through there. Uh, I've still been putting up the Lack Shame series. I believe I'm on part 12. I'm supposed to start part 12, but I guess you'd say I have a little bit of writer's block right now. But going things forward, I just want to put up this YouTube video to explain things. So regarding this, so the question that's been asked regarding this topic is who should be the head of the household, man or woman? Now, common sense will tell you obviously it will be the man. Why? Because men are blessed with men are more three-dimensional thinkers. Men are more physically strong, mentally strong. They're also the ones who have to guide. Most of the responsibility will have to fall on them. They also are the creators of culture, etc., etc. It is men. Men will always be the head of the household. Why? Because the Father put a man in the head of the household. If you read 1 Corinthians 11, chapter, verse 3, going on down. It's the Father, Christ, man, then women. That's the order that it should be. But due to the gynocentric, satanic society that we're living in, everything is backwards, where it's God, Christ, women, then men. And rightfully so. And you're seeing the mental decay, the moral decay, if you will, in the black community, and specifically the Israelite community. And you're seeing the complete change of behavior, not pretty much the Israelite woman. And the reason why I only point out her is because only her changed the way the standards or the morality of a woman behave. Men never change. Regardless of race, men never changed. Women did. Because there was never no movement of men having to stop doing the God given rights, except for MGTOW. And MGTOW is only a movement in response and adapting to the ways to what feminism has done, right? So women has gotten out of their so-called gender roles, right? They're not practicing or doing their gender roles. Men are still held to their values. They're still hold to that responsibility and that standard that they must meet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this video and you're going to listen. I'm going to show you how so far gone we are as a race and what is it looking like going forward. Now these two obviously are in my generation, the millennials, but I'm gonna show you pretty much what black dating or black relationships look like as a millennial today. This is what it looks like. Okay.
You think like women should be cooking and stuff? Like
Oh
that
no,
type of
I'll
traditional
cook for you
or
every day. You feel what I'm saying? That's not the problem.
okay. Since I've been here, I've just been kind of like swiping. Right. If I get a pickup line, I just delete the message. I'm like, ugh, bye. I like conversation starters, so I'm like, oh, what book would you read if you were on a desert island? And if you get like a hey sexy, I'm like, oh, you didn't even read my bio. No.
I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. I'll tell you the truth right now. I bet you she had dudes inbox her with questions like that. She wasn't interested. Why? Oh, I forgot where I'm at, what platform. Hold up, I just remember what platform I'm on. I would have to give it to it very subtly, very, very subtle. She's looking for that specific man, if you will, that specific man who will pay for her, who give her all this attention that she's been looking for. And it ain't you black men. I tell you that right now. It ain't you black men. But I have to be cordial on YouTube because I just remember what platform I'm on. However, y'all don't find it weird that someone who actually cute and attractive like her, you know, has to resort to online dating to look get a man. You don't find that weird. Like women who look good and confident in themselves don't have to rely on online dating or whatever. They can go out into the real world and just get a man just like that and get men's attention. But see, the issues with the Negro woman in America, because she has completely fell from grace, right? Her behavior has caught up with her. Now you see in uh, not only the high divorce rates, but also the high single rates. A lot of these women are freaking single. It is rare. It is rare to see them married now, folks. It's rare. Like irregardless whether she's attractive, whether she's ugly, they have a high single rate. Why? Because their behavior of what their mothers have been doing and the things they have done to regarding to their race has finally caught up with them. And so now this girl has a result to online dating because men in the real world are not going to approach these American women specifically because a lot of these women are pretty much liberals and you're on that liberal mindset. Liberal just means being free. And what do these liberals practice and what do they follow? They follow everything that has a lack of morality, degeneracy, and everything that goes against the Bible. This is why you see these women heavily promoting stuff like transgenderism, homosexuality, interracial relationships, uh, women empowerment. You see them always promoting these types of things regarding the liberals. Pretty much liberalism, all it is to be free from sin. This is how these women are. They believe they are free from sin, free to do anything. That is why it's darn near impossible to correct them. Because when you correct them, they get too offended. It makes sense? For those with wisdom should understand what I just said.
I believe in lust at first sight. That's what I believe in. I don't think you can love somebody just by looking at them, unless you're that. Yeah, I'm not even want to put an adjective on that.
Your name is Ryan, and this is your story.
All right. So for those who don't know, so what it is, they both sides supposedly it's supposed to assume what they believe about the other person, and the other person tell them what they really are. All right. So hope we catch on. Oh, and by the way, don't be swayed by the music that's playing on this video. That music, that happy-go-lucky, cheerful music, all it is, that's a hypnotic technique. It's to get you entwined and to promote a relationship with two people who you obviously know are not compatible. That's what that music is. It's a hypnosis. So don't be fooled by that. For those who are not believers in the Most High, that's just a technique of hypnosis. Music is a very powerful tool. So don't be fooled by that.
You are 23 years old. For work, you're a photographer. You grew up in Detroit. You have 3 siblings, and you have 2 older and 1 younger.
It's Craig. I'm 24. I would say I'm an entrepreneur, like graphic design. I have a clothing line as well as it's a developing label.
Wow.
I grew up in New Orleans. I'm a twin, so it's like we're the youngest out of like 5. So I'm just a little bit older than him by 2 minutes. It counts. And your name is Renee, and this is your story. You're 22. I would say you're like a barista and slash creative. I think you grew up in New York. I would say you have like 3 siblings, and you're probably the oldest.
My name is Whitley. I'm 24. I'm a grad student.
Nice.
I grew up in Delaware, but I feel like New York was a compliment, so thanks.
No problem.
See that? Remember what I covered about that video of Mystery Babylon when I broke it down in that scripture? Remember what I said about how these liberal women are, folks? What did I tell you? They have this draw. They have this strong draw to strong energy that makes them feel empowered. So her saying I take compliment in New York, she probably wishes that she was born and raised in New York, dealing with women who are heavily on that feminist bullcrap, who believes that they are superior to a man, yet Christ put them below a man due to the disobedience of Eve. And what am I telling you? A lot of these women have the Eve syndrome, folks. They generally don't respect you black men at all. Period. Now now I want y'all to pay attention to what the man's gonna do in this. Alright?
I have 4 siblings, and I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So there's 5 of us.
So what did you major for?
Medical genetics.
Oh, elaborate.
Yeah, so it's like the study of like your genes and like how your genes get kind of passed down. But you have a clothing line.
Yes. This is a clothing line. It's a label.
That's dope. If I was creative, I would.
Oh, so you don't create?
Yeah, I have no creative bone in my body.
Ah, right there. You can tell from the look. Hold on. You can tell from his look. You can tell right there, folks. That look. You know now that's a huge red flag for him. Because he's about being creative. He's about businesses. He's about making moves. His brother's an entrepreneur at 24 years of age. And he owns his own business, So he's about something. And he's looking for a woman to help elevate him. But here's the problem. What he just now figured out. Now he's saying, figuring out this girl has no creative bone in her body. Which means that she has nothing entertaining going on in her life. Just like a lot of these females in 2020. A lot of them don't have nothing even... They have there's nothing interesting going on in their life. A lot of them just go home, work, or having sex with a lot of dudes all day. That's it. Drink, smoke. They don't do much of anything else outside the common grain. They don't do anything that moves their mind. They don't do anything that will get you intrigued. They don't. A lot of these women just don't. They live very, very lazy, minuscule lives. I'm not bashing. I'm just telling the truth. A lot of these women just don't have much of anything interesting in their lives. So to this guy, for him, he's looking for someone who has passion, who has some type of creative, lifestyle. This is gonna be a struggle for him. To think that, okay, if I'm thinking of being in a relationship with this woman, well, what can she do that will help, what she brings that brings some excitement to the relationship? And the answer is none, buddy. You're going to be the one who have to compromise a lot to bring the excitement. Understand this. You have to understand this, black men. Like when you get in a relationship with these modern women, you're going to have to compromise a lot. You're going to have to give up and sacrifice a lot of the things that you like for her, and she's not going to have to do anything. You have to understand that. This is the culture and this is the society we live in today.
Before I moved to New Orleans, I was in like a really long-term relationship, and that was 3 years. So I've just been swiping. I don't know anybody here, so let's just kind of like see what's out there.
I have not been in a long-term relationship before. I would say the longest period of time had been roughly 6 months. There's many times where I've wondered, will I actually ever find a soulmate? I can honestly say I don't know how soulmates work because I don't think I've encountered one. So I'd rather, just leave it to the wind. I feel like your dream dinner guest would be Trey Songz. I would say it is important for your partner to be close to your family. Traditional gender roles I say they are required for a stable home. You're probably an early bird because I feel like you having a career. Your last meal would probably be like curry chicken. I don't know why I said curry chicken, but yeah.
So my dream dinner guest would be Michelle Obama.
And there it goes, another red flag, folks. When what I said about these liberal women, they have this draw to the wickedness. So she wants to have a dream dinner with a man who thinks he's a woman, who is married to a former U.S. president. I'm not making this up. The information is right there. Why do you think Barack Obama constantly called Michelle Michael? Come on, there was videos exposing who that person really is, right? But I don't want to go too deep and and to dwell about that situation. But you see that? So what makes you think that she's not on that female empowerment stuff too? Or she's probably not on that hashtag Black Girl Magic also. What makes you think she's not? Think about it.
Okay.
It is important for my partner to be close to my family. Traditional gender roles aren't required for a stable home.
And right there, folks, right there will tell you what her standards are, folks. Right here. Right here will tell you, right there. She is not worth no man's time. Irregardless of how cute or how attractive she is, folks, don't let this pretty face fool you. This is how so many men had failed. This is Proverbs, the 7th chapter. This is wisdom to you as a black man. Do not matter. Don't care how pretty, how good looking, how sweet she sound. All you need to go by is what her morals are. She is literally she just told you out of her mouth, a traditional family doesn't mean having traditional family roles does not make a stable home. When actually it does. Having a man in the household, having a man rule the household, having a man guide the household, having a man teach the household, having a woman support the household, having a woman to be obedient to the husbands in the household, right? Having a woman be feminine in the household, having a man make sure she caretakes the household, and help raise the children in the household. Both sides have to do their side, and they have to do their jobs in the home. It's not a hard job. But see, in today's society, women think that's hard. They think just doing what is their biological nature, because they're fighting against their biological nature to do, their wifely duties. They feel they don't have to do that because they think it's oppressive. They think it's oppressive, sexist, and all this other stuff. All that is just feminism boiled up to rebellion. And I've been telling you, men. I've been telling you black men for the longest time, you've got to listen to these women when they speak. Don't ever, that's why black men, I never compliment them no more. Because all I have to do is let them speak long enough and they will fully expose themselves in their true nature. She's literally telling this man, a stable household is not important to me. So what you think she's going to do when they get in a relationship? She's going to try to boss him around. She's going to try to run the household. She's going to try to say, your money. She's going to follow the philosophy that, you need to pay this and all that, but she have money on her own that she's not going to share with you, right? She don't want you going out there with your boys, but she can go out.
Traditional gender roles.
I'm sorry, but she can go out with her girls, right? She's going to come up with all these complex rules just for you to deal with her. But you as a black man will have to compromise so much to make the relationship work. And I'm going to tell you this, black men, never make compromises with a woman. Never do. They're not designed to be compromises. They're designed to follow your lead. If they don't want to follow your lead or your protocol, then she can get to stepping. That is it. You're not supposed to compromise with a woman. Period. You are a leader. You were designed to be the chosen man of the world. The Bible tells you in Genesis 1:26 that we have dominion over the whole world. You have dominion. But the problem is the black man has been mentally destroyed for so long, has been beaten down to the point to where he's willing to give up his own, godly powers, his own godly blessings to the wicked vessel. And this is the chaos that you see in modern day America. This right here, folks, is young black couples in 2020. Right here, this dynamic right here. Now we're gonna see how the man reacts after all these things, all this.
Aren't required for a stable home. I am an early bird because they get the worm. That's all I put. My last meal would be shrimp Alfredo with like cashew sauce, so like not dairy.
That's
Yeah, see, yeah, I mean, do you not see the dynamic? Do you not see what I've been trying to get y'all to understand about these liberal women? Do y'all not see that they have this draw to things that the father is not pleased with? Like, you can't make this up. I'm not. You cannot make this up. This is all connected. Everything what I've been saying in my Lack Shame series, everything that I've taught in my, in these Bible videos, everything, they all connect. And it's weird how everything I've said previously about the liberal woman connects with everything that the father is against.
sounds interesting.
It's actually really good.
Oh man.
So your dream dinner guest would be Jay-Z. It just rolled off my head.
I feel like you're close.
It is important for your partner to be close with your family. Traditional gender roles are not required for a stable home for you. You're a night owl because creativity flows at night. Your last meal would be a medium rare filet.
I would say.
And you have to understand this. You have to understand this, black man. She thinks because of the lifestyle she lived in, or the household she came from, she thinks that rule is gonna follow every other black man. She thinks that you brothers should have the exact same morality that she has, which is zero. You have to understand how these women behave and how they think, folks. So she assumes that, okay, if I don't have morals, then he doesn't have morals. Yeah, you not see this. Remember, this goes back to what I talked about in my Lack Shame series about schizophrenia, arrested development. You have to go and watch those over there, you know. But that correlates to what I've been saying this whole time about them.
Warren Buffett will be my dream dinner guest.
Okay.
Tell me what you don't tell the internet. No.
It's very interesting that this black man, this brother right here, just said Warren Buffett is a guy he would like to have a last meal with. But yeah, I bet you 10 times out of 10 he don't know a damn thing about Warren Buffett besides having all this money. He doesn't understand that Warren Buffett is in charge of Berkshire Hathaway. Yet Berkshire Hathaway is one of the main mortgage companies, who's been getting black folks, who's been helping the gentrification process with black people out of the communities that they're living in, into areas that doesn't have enough good Wi-Fi connection, that doesn't have enough cell phone towers, etc., etc. And he doesn't understand that. Now I wonder why Hosea 4:6 said exactly what it said. What sane black person in America would have a last meal with Warren Buffett out of all people? You can't have a last meal with Neil deGrasse Tyson. You can't do it with him. Come on now.
Everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to be up there. I would say initially it isn't a variable if they're close to your family or not, only because they have to get to know them. Traditional gender roles, I would say, like I say it is, but that's only because like I feel as though a man should, definitely provide for the household. A mom should definitely show, a certain type of love to the child. You feel what I'm saying?
And there you go, folks. That's a red flag on his behalf. Number one. Why did I say that? Because even though he said it's required for traditional role, what did he list the traits about the man? The man must provide for the household, right? He had no hesitation of telling you the standards that a man should go by. But when he told you the standards of a woman and what their requirements, what did he say? He said, well, she should love the child as best as she can. How is that a role? Women regardless unconditionally gonna love their children when they give birth, because they carry the the fetus in their womb for at least 7 to 8 months out of the whole year. So of course they're gonna unconditionally love the child. But did you see now there is no role, there's no standard for women. Men are held still to the traditional values, women are not. If you go around the black community, you ask, well, what's your black fathers do in the household? Oh, they need to provide, they need to protect, they need to stay around, raise their kids, Black men, they need to build. They need to take down the white power infrastructure. They need to do this. So then you ask, okay, then what do black women need to do in their relationships? I really don't know. Do y'all see that? There's no standards for what black women need to do to keep the household running, or there's no standards to tell you, well, what is the overall role of a woman in a household? There's none. Why? Because we live in a gynocracy. We live in a backward society. The women are the head, the men are below them. Why? Because society's put them in that position. Why? Because the Father said that was going to happen in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. He said that was going to happen, that the women and children will oppress the nation. And you're seeing how women, the Negro American female, and how not only is she's been like this way before feminism. This has been going on since the silent generation around the 20s and the 30s. But you have to understand the not only just the welfare policies, feminism, the sexual liberation movement, and all that, but how society through after the what is it called, the Affirmative Action Act, black women benefited more from that than black men, because they see that if the black man is in power, then the race is dangerous. If the black woman is in power, the race is destroyed. Why? Because women are not a threat. They're never seen as a threat. And not only that, she checks off two minorities, a woman and black. So this is why you black men are not getting employed. This is why you black men are in the state you in. Not only because you're disobedience against the Father, but because the society has put her above you to the point to where she has no value, and she sees no value in you. That is why she assumed that this dude don't have something stable, doesn't have any morals, because she doesn't have any. And this is why this dude literally just gave you there is no strict standard, no roles that a woman should do besides loving her child. So now he's full of shit so far. Excuse my language. He's full of shit so far. You went from, I want a stable household, to, well, a woman doesn't really have no standards in that household. Sir, a woman has to do her role to have a stable household. Period. You can't have one doing one thing or everything and the other's not doing anything.
As far as an upbringing,
You think like women should be cooking and stuff? Like
oh
that
no,
type of traditional?
I'll cook for you
or
every day. You feel what I'm saying? That's not the problem.
Would you be a
And you see that? Remember what I say? He's going to compromise a lot, and he just admitted it when she's saying, "Oh, you women are going to cook every day." Black men, you got to stop being scared of these females. Just tell them face to face. Yes, I want you to cook my meals. If she don't like it, she can go, folks. The problem is black men are just too scared to leave women alone. They think they need them. The Bible says she was created for you. You was not created for her. Period. You can live your life perfectly fine without a female. You can. His issue is because he has a lack of, you also understand, he has a lack of, relationship skills. He doesn't have enough, exposure to the female gender. But best believe if they do kick this thing off, because they actually got a second date or whatever, right? Best believe this relationship is a train wreck ready to happen. I see it. I see two trains slowly going opposite ends and ready to crash at any minute. But just you wait.
said if like the woman was the provider?
I wouldn't be upset. I appreciate people that's very goal driven and motivated. So, if you are making more money doing what you do and you're happy doing it, you feel what I'm saying? We can be happy together. And you are correct. I'm a night owl. My last meal would be lasagna. That's, oh God, that's that.
That's a lot of cheese.
Oh man.
Okay.
I think the only deal breaker I have is how you view me as a woman. So if you think like I'm gonna come home after 12 hours and whatever and cook, no, I'm sorry. I'm definitely not the stereotypical, I'm gonna cook for you, or I'm gonna do laundry or wash your, no, absolutely not.
Do you see how she said with such pride? Do you see what say it with such pride? She feels empowered that she doesn't have to do none of that stuff, which is something that has been ingrained in a woman's nature, is to feel to feel great about herself, knowing that she has fed her household. She has fed her household. Her man is eating. Her children is happy. And guess what? The men will praise their wives. Why? Because she's doing her role. She's fulfilling her duties. The Bible tells you about that in your female's favorite chapter, Proverbs 31. They're fulfilling their role. But in her head, because she's so jacked up in the head and she has those standards, she's not going to do those things. And this man is literally telling her, oh, well, I don't mind, it doesn't bother me at all. I'll cook every day. This is a sign of a man who's desperate. This is a sign of a man who has those standards. He's scared. And he comes from a freaking household. Actually, no. I think I'm jumping the gun. We'll have to watch the video more. Actually, no, I'll just tell it. I think it was for her. She had a dad in her household. And her mom cooked meals all the time. Irregardless whether they have a dad in the household, a loving mother, or whatever, these females in a modern day world, in a modern day society, are not doing their roles. Men still follow their roles. They still know their roles. And they still hold to those roles. Women are not. They're not. There's no standards held to them. And so when you tell them the things that are required for them, they'll say you're sexist. They'll say you're misogynist. They'll say you're oppressive. But they don't understand. But because how self-deluded and selfish they are, they're destroying their race. And this is why you see black men dating outside the race, marrying outside the race, or going and getting passports. Example like me. Where if we just go out of the country, if we just travel the world and see what's out there. This is why they're doing this. Because black men have to conform. They have to give up their standards to please a woman. And I've been telling you, black men, you got to stop doing that. Don't give up your standards for no female. Period. Don't give up your standards for nobody. Just because she look good. There's plenty of better looking chicks out here. There's plenty of better looking chicks out here than her. By her standards, she's a 7 by DC standards. Because she lives in Delaware. And Delaware is a little ways outside of the DMV area. By DC, DMV standards, she's a 7. By California standards, she's probably a 5. I'm just calling the buck. Alright?
It's definitely important to get my situation together before I give myself to somebody, only for the simple fact that I grew up with, I guess, a man taking care of the household, so that's what's instilled into me. That's why I'm making sure I'm handling my biz before I get a family.
My mom was like a teacher, and then she became a pastor, and then my dad was...
There you go, see? You see that female empowerment? She got it from his mom, she got it from her mom, and her dad probably didn't discipline the household. And so the dad probably had to conform his standards, lower his masculinity to appease a woman in the household. Y'all see that? And this is where she's learning this stuff from.
The breadwinner, she would cook all the time. That would be a big deal breaker. Like if you view me as like a woman from the 60s or something.
Honey bun, I'll tell you right now, if I was here, if we was doing this one-on-one, I would have dropped my notepad and pen and walked the hell out. Period. I wouldn't say anything longer to you. By the time you say something like this, I would have been left. I wouldn't say anything to you. You're pointless to me at that point. But see, black men, because they're simps and they've been mentally destroyed, they don't have the backbone to tell and correct these women. They're too scared. They're scared out of their mind just because of what's between her legs. Well, really, most these days, this is the only value they have. And this is why I blame you men for this. I blame you men because you're too scared to check this woman. You're scared.
I'm just like, sorry.
Religion is needed for you for a strong moral compass. If money didn't matter, you would spend your life designing clothes. One thing you love about yourself is your ability to create. your deal breakers in a relationship are not believing in your dreams.
I like that last one. I didn't put that down, but I definitely like that.
What is this? Not believing in your dreams is oh God. She's so young and naive.
Religion, I would say it's not, only because I just have good morals. I was raised by my grandma. She did, instill religion, but
I was like, did y'all go to church? And
every Sunday, every other Sunday.
so you wouldn't consider yourself like religious now?
I would say more spiritual. I just know like there is a higher being, it's not like a religion.
I get what he's saying. For both men and women. A lot of us don't want to say we're religious, which we're really not. But we're connected with the Most High, our higher power. He never created religion in itself. Religion is a man-made system. It's a man-made term. But we follow our higher power. So I get what he is saying.
Religion based is definitely spiritual. Money didn't matter. I would definitely just be helping a lot of people, whether it's, mentally, physically, if I'm saying, whatever could help somebody, they
Wow.
one thing I love about myself is my humor. Like I can joke around all day, and a deal breaker is not communicating. Like I feel like anything could be communicated.
You're gonna have a hard time with this one, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think you're a good communicator?
Oh, definitely. I'm very straightforward when it comes to, I guess, speaking on things. Only because I don't like people beating me around the bush.
Just be there. Yeah.
But yet you're beating around the bush with her when she's literally going against your moral compass, bro. What did I say that he's full of crap? Honestly, for man to man, we all know what he's doing. He's just trying to get in her pants. That's all he's trying to do. Is get in her pants. And I've been telling black men like, Luke, do not go so much for what's between these girls' pants just because of your morals. Never ever let down your morals for anything, even if it's for a 45-second quickie. Irregardless, don't let your morals go out the window for a female. Ever. Don't ever conform your standards, your morals, and your dignity for a female. Never do it. It ain't worth it.
Direct, definitely.
Yeah.
Whether we're gonna be together or not, if we can communicate what's bothering us or anything like that, or what's on our mind, then it shouldn't be a problem in the relationship at all. I would say religion isn't needed for a strong moral compass. If money didn't matter, I would say you'd be exploring, like going everywhere.
That's a good answer, actually.
But one thing you love about yourself is determination. Like your drive, you have to be very determined in order to get past college. I just know that for a fact.
You don't need to be determined to get past college. Anyone can get a freaking college degree today. All you need to do is graduate with a 2.0 and you're done. That's it. You don't need determination to get a college degree. What she needs to be determined is how to freaking be a wife in a household. That's what she needs to do. She might be a mother, but she ain't gonna be a wife to you. That's what her determination should do. But I want to see her answer.
And a deal breaker in a relationship, I feel like it's, the person not being honest with you.
Religion is not needed for a strong moral compass. It was pretty much the same thing. Grew up, literally, like my mom's a pastor and all, but then I kind of.
So you're really.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and it's really bothering him. You can tell it's bothering him. He believes in a higher power. She went way off the track. It's bothering him. You could just tell. He's still in it. She ain't. She wants to do whatever the hell she wants. This is the mindset of a liberal-minded woman. And I'm telling y'all black men, this is why I made that video of they're the worst women on earth. Why? Because they're liberal-minded. They want to do whatever the hell they want to do. And you have to conform your standards and your dignity for them. They will never do it for you. Ever.
Off the beaten path there, but if money didn't matter to me, I would spend my life lobbying for the homeless. One thing I love
She would do all that for the homeless, but she would never cook a meal for her husband. Let that make sense.
about myself is my compassion for others.
She'll have compassion for others, but never for you as a wife, as a husband. Do y'all see the correlation? like how she's full of shit, he's full of shit. They're both lying. They're both obviously lying. They're both lying. Well, what I tell y'all about black people in 2020 with the millennials of my generation coming up, They don't care. They just lie and lie and lie just to have sex, and then have all this drama and all this dysfunction, and the cycle continues. They're not being honest with each other. This man needs to know you're not a good woman for me. She needs to know you don't fit in my viewpoint of what I want in a man, which is I want to do what I want. You have to follow what I want. If you don't, then you can then boy bye. Simple. They both have a viewpoint and an ideology of what they want in the opposite sex. They're both just making stuff up because they're both desperate, both of them. But watch, this train wreck is that train is coming real. It's starting to speed up real fast. I think it collided by now. I think it's all over the train tracks now.
And my deal breaker in a relationship is not treating me equally or believing women shouldn't have equal rights.
And there you go. Another red flag. I told you, the liberal-minded female cannot stop. She just can't stop. You just know what they're going to say seconds later before they say it. You just know it. Hun, read your Bible. Read your Bible. It will tell you what the Father thinks about that. So after all this, we should all come to the conclusion that he should not even entertain this girl. She may entertain it, but I want y'all to see the answers. It's very interesting.
When I first saw you, I said I would. Your style was dope. Those are different. That's why I knew you weren't from New Orleans. After speaking to you, I said I would. You're a pretty interesting person.
There's nothing interesting about her. She said nothing. All she did is go completely against your values as a man. What did I tell you? He's going to keep that cycle going, and when she's screwing over, then he want to sit there and say, "I can't stand these bees and these hoes. F these. I'm gonna do me. Whatever's all this other crap." He's going to keep that cycle going. He's gonna be an angry black man. When you shouldn't have entertained this girl from the get-go. She does not fit your moral values, bro. But this is symbology. It's obvious he's either A, he's doing this to get in between her pants, or B, he literally doesn't have any values. Or those values he said he has are not real. He was full of crap. Alright? But this is what I call when I said you will have to compromise as a man and lie. And look what he's doing. How can you say she's interesting when she said nothing that will entice you as a man to even entertain her when she doesn't fit your values?
I feel like I definitely would like to get to know you better. I feel like that sums it up.
So when I first saw you, I said I would. Yeah, you look like initially I was like, okay, like nice style. And then after meeting you, I also said I would.
Fire.
Yeah, I was a little.
Right there, folks. This is a train wreck right. This is the black family in 2020. She says she would. Why? Because he's easy. He's going to conform to her standards and her ways. And remember the Bible. All you gotta do is read Proverbs 7. The Bible says, "Go not her ways. Go not unto her ways, for she destroyeth many men." And this brother, his life is going to get ruined way ahead of time. That woman, this girl, is going to ruin this man. Trust and believe me. She is going to ruin this man. They both their values, their viewpoints on life does not mesh. The Bible even says, "Can two walk together unless they be agreed?" The answer is no. A Christian will never walk with a Muslim at all. It won't mesh unless one will have to conform to the other one. And all I have to say is that, Shalom and peace to the nation of Israel.